Good morning, students. Yesterday we have started our second chapter, other chapter of chemistry, that is carbon and its compound, and we have discussed about the compounds of carbon, occurrence of compounds of carbon, and beside that we have discussed bonding in carbon compounds. Carbon compounds form covalent bonds, and as we have discussed yesterday, a bond formed due to mutual sharing of electrons by combining atoms is called as covalent bond. The shared pair of electrons lies between the two nuclei, and both the nuclei attract the shared pair of electrons. The shared pair of electrons thus keeps them together and a stable bond is formed. So a covalent bond may be defined as the force of attraction between the two combining atoms due to mutual sharing of electrons. Not only carbon compounds but many other elements form molecules by sharing electrons in this manner, and the shared electrons belong to the outer shell of both of the atoms and lead to both atoms attaining the noble gas configuration. Before going on to the compounds of carbon, let us look some simple molecules formed by sharing of valence electrons. So the simple molecules that is formed by sharing, that is of hydrogen. Hydrogen, as we know, its atomic number is 1. So it contains only one electron, and that it contains in its K shell or S shell. We can name this as K or S. Now, as it contains one electron in its K shell, and one electron having in any orbit or shell cannot give them the stable condition. So to be stable or to attain the electronic configuration that of helium, as we know, helium, its atomic number is 2 and it has 2 electrons in its outermost orbits. That's why it has stable structure. So to attain the structure like that of helium, it also wants 1 electrons. So in case of hydrogen, it do this by this way. It attach or it share its 1 electron with other atom of hydrogen like this. When hydrogen is there, it is having 1 electron in outermost shell. It share its 1 electron with other atom of hydrogen, and it forms the bond like that, and it then form the hydrogen molecule. This is hydrogen molecule. Atom, hydrogen atom, and they both share this electron and they both have their stable configuration. So in this form, hydrogen form hydrogen molecule. Now if we take the example of chlorine. Chlorine, as we know, its atomic number is 17. Chlorine, atomic number 17, So its electronic configuration is like that, 2, 8 and 7. So it contains 7 electron in its valence orbit or valence shell, and it require one more electron, or as we know, when outermost orbit is having 8 electron, it is stable. So 8 minus 7, 1, it has its valency 1, and it requires one more electron to fulfill its outermost orbit. So chlorine also do it like that. Chlorine, as we used to see, it has 7 electrons in outermost orbit, and it share the electrons like that. When two atoms of chlorine unite, they form single bond. This is the single bond, and they complete or gain the stable configuration by this way, and they form the chlorine molecule. So in this way, chlorine form the chlorine molecule. Now the bond which is formed between hydrogen, that is the single bond, and in the similar way in chlorine, the bond which is formed between chlorine atom and chlorine atom to form chlorine molecule, this is also the single bond. Now if we take the example of oxygen, as we know, it has atomic number 8, and its electronic configuration is like that, 2 and 6. I mean, it has 6 electrons in outermost shell. So in case of oxygen, what happened? It has 6 electrons like that, and in case of oxygen, 2 electrons are shared, and in this way oxygen form the O2 molecule. So this is the case of oxygen. Now if the as it is given in your NCERT on page number 60, what happen in case of water? In case of water mean its chemical formula H2O. H contain 1 electron. H2 mean here 2 atoms of hydrogen has to share the electrons with one atom of oxygen, and in this way they form their octet. Oxygen form octet like that, and hydrogen also completes its structure, or its completes its outermost orbit by this way. So this is the case of formation of H2O. In case of nitrogen, what happened? Nitrogen, as we know, atomic number of nitrogen is 7. Atomic number 7. So its electronic configuration is like that. It has 5 electrons in outermost orbit. So what it do? It share, in this case, it has to share 3 electrons like that, 3 to 5, and this 3 to 5, and this way. When triple bond is formed, but this they share it like that. So this is the case of nitrogen, and nitrogen form triple bond to form nitrogen molecule and to nitrogen molecule. If we look at the take the example of methane. Methane formula CH4. Carbon, as we know, it is tetravalent, meaning its valency is 4. So in this way, 4 hydrogen share their electrons with carbon and make it stable, and they also make themselves stable by sharing the electrons with each other. In this case, as we are saying that carbons for 8 electrons are here and 2 electrons of hydrogen are also there. So this is the case of methane. Now, as we have seen, depending on the number of pairs of electrons shared, the covalent bond formed may be of these 3 types: single, when single or 1 electron is shared, and then double and triple. So single bond, the covalent bond between formed due to sharing of 1 pair of electrons is single bond. It is represented by this line and between 2 atoms. So in case of hydrogen, as we have seen, hydrogen forms single bond, and this is the example of single bond between compounds of carbon. Then double bond, covalent bond formed due to the sharing of 2 pairs of electrons between the 2 atoms is termed as double bond, and example is oxygen, then ethane, etc. Then triple bond, when 3 electron pairs are 3 electron pairs are shared, then it is called as triple bond. So these are the single bond, double bond and triple bond. So this is all for today. Thank you. कितने मिनट